Pets and campus housing. We are interested in finding out which group of people, male or female, is more likely to have a pet at their campus housing. Our hypothesis is based on gender. We hypothesize that females are more likely to have a pet at their campus housing. Our theory behind this is that females are more caring and nurturing, and they like the feeling that they are taking care of something. We are also interested in the survey takers' previous experience with pets, whether or not they are allowed to have pets in their campus housing, and why they have or don't have a pet. We asked 4 questions. Do you have a pet at your campus housing? Are you allowed to have a pet at your campus housing? Did you have a pet before you moved into your campus housing? Why or why not do you choose to have a pet at your campus housing? This survey was held at the Oval, which gave us a limited amount of area to work with, so most of the people who took this survey were college students. Therefore, we only had a handful of people who actually owned a pet. We used these 4 people's surveys to support our hypothesis. Our data would be more credible and accurate if we were able to expand the location and have more people take the survey. Out of the 30 people who took our survey, only 4 of them have a pet. 3 of them are females, and 1 of them is a male. Therefore, this data supports our hypothesis that females are more likely to have a pet at their campus housing. Research shows that females are more sensitive to stressors, so they need to pay more attention on controlling their stress. Females also reported a significantly higher level of need for family support as compared to male students. This may be one of the reasons why females tend to have a pet in their campus housing. They need a pet to support them and to release their anxiety. Out of the 4 people who have a pet, 3 of them had a pet before they moved into their campus housing, and only 1 of them did not. We didn't make any hypothesis about this, but this data shows that most people who have a pet in their campus housing had previous experience with pets. Out of the 4 people who have a pet, all 3 females say that they choose to have a pet because they love pets, and the only male chooses to have a pet because he wants one. Our hypothesis is that females are more likely to have a pet because they are more caring and nurturing. It is hard to define what they mean by love, so this data cannot support our hypothesis. According to an article titled "The Influence of Sex on Character Attribute Preferences" by Dr. Michelle Companion and Dr. Roger Sambrook, females are more willing to choose to be healers, while males are more willing to choose combat-oriented roles in a gameplay. This implies that females are more nurturing and more willing to support the team. Out of the 26 people who don't have a pet in their campus housing, most of them say this is because they are not allowed to have one. The minority of them say that they don't have the time or energy to have a pet. Only 1 of them says that he or she does not have space for a pet. We don't have any hypothesis about this, but this data can be a fun fact. Our survey data supports our hypothesis that females are more likely to have a pet in their campus housing, but our hypothesis that females are more caring and nurturing cannot be supported by our survey data. From the data we collected, we also found that most of the people who have a pet in their campus housing had previous experience with pets, and interestingly, all females say that they choose to have a pet because they love their pets, while the only male says that he chooses to have a pet because he wants one. Another obvious fact is supported by our data, which is most college students are not allowed to have a pet in their campus housing.
Have I told you lately that you're my best friend? And I'll be right here beside you till the end. La la, la la.